Hey you guys, and welcome back to my little channel. So in today's video I'm gonna be showing you guys my updated makeup routine, and honestly you guys might see one of these videos every now and then because I feel like my makeup routine is constantly growing and evolving, and I'm constantly tweaking little things here and there, but this is my current one, so let's get on with it. Okay, first thing is first, I cannot do my makeup period without some sort of drink, and today's drink of the day, no surprise, it's matcha. I usually put on a headband, you know, like to pull all my hair back, so we're gonna start off with that. A little facelift moment. That's also one thing about my makeup routine. I feel like my makeup routine consists like a lot of the product, like I like it high up on my face so that way it gives you like a little snatched moment. You know, like my contour, my blush, all that, like even the way that I put my concealer, it almost like I try at least to give it like a facelift effect because that's just the type of style that I like. One thing I feel like I include a part of my makeup routine is my skincare routine. I feel like it's just so crucial to do my skincare before I do my makeup because, to be honest, if I don't do my skincare routine or like at least wash my face before I do my makeup, I feel like it doesn't come out good. And I feel like I don't use too many skincare products on my face. Honestly, I keep it very like basic. I just use this facial toner, rose water, and this Enrich moisturizing face lotion. They're both from Trader Joe's. I also just started using this face serum. First, I'm gonna use this rose water facial toner. I kind of like to fan it out afterwards, and then I put my little moisturizer. I always like to bring my product down to my neck also. I love how it makes my skin look like really glowy and dewy. Okay, after I put my moisturizer on, then I put my serum on. I know I'm probably doing it in the wrong order, but this is just how I do it, okay? It is what it is. This is gonna make you look very dewy and glowy times 10. When I'm doing my skincare, I just like to push my face up like that. I don't know why, I just feel like it's gonna do something like, girl, you're gonna age regardless, but you know, age a little gracefully. And I don't use this serum all the time. I use it maybe like once or twice a week, but my main thing that I do use is the rose water and the moisturizer. So the first step that I always start off with is my eyebrows, and I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow with this. Actually, this brush is really new. I literally just used it once, but it's the Morphe brush. I specifically got this one because I liked how it also had the little brush for my brows at the end. A must for my brows is brow gel, and I also recently started using this e.l.f. brow gel. I like it. I think I would rate it probably an 8 out of 10. I will say I still want to go on a little brow gel journey because I was just talking to my friend the other day and she uses the Rare Beauty brow gel, and she did say she really liked it, maybe a little bit more than the e.l.f. one, so I may try that one out. I still want to try a few different out, but I will say I also do like how this one has a little brush at the end, so you know, like to clean the little edges like that. Honestly, it does the trick for now, so I do like this one. Also, the one that I was using before was the St. Lux one, but I tried finding it afterwards and I just couldn't find it, so I was kind of like upset about that because I did really like that one. I feel like after using brow gel, I just cannot go back to not using brow gel. I don't know, I just love the way like it just like sets it. Without brow gel, my eyebrows just look so dry. At one point I used aloe vera gel as a replacement for brow gel, and honestly it wasn't too bad. Like I kind of liked it. So right after I fill in my brows, I just like to brush it through, and I feel like it gives it more of like a natural illusion. Like I feel like it looks like the same, just darker, so it still looks like I don't really have any or that much product in it. Okay, so now that we filled in our brows, we're gonna go in with our brow gel. The brows could definitely be a little tricky. I feel like I don't always have a good brow day, so let's hope these come out good today. You guys, I feel like I haven't done a get ready with me in a minute, and I definitely miss it. So I'm gonna get back on it, and I also want to do different looks. I want to get back into doing like different aesthetics for the get ready with me's. So if there's any type of aesthetic that you guys want to see me like transform into, then let me know. Okay, so now that I finished my brows, I'm just gonna carefully clean out the edges of it so that way there is no visible concealer lines. Okay guys, so now I'm gonna go in with foundation, and I use the House Labs foundation, and I use the shade 070 Fair Neutral. Honestly, Lady Gaga did her big one with this foundation. It's very watery, but it's like also light on the skin. I also like a good medium coverage so that way you can just like build it onto your liking. And I do look like a little payasita right now, but like I said, makeup is all about trusting the process. If you don't look crazy when you're doing your makeup, then you're doing it wrong. Just kidding, queen. You can never do anything wrong. Let's fix that in there. I kind of like to outline it also, my brows, with my foundation. I feel like this part is really messy, but it's crucial. You guys, off topic, but I'm really excited because next Monday I'm gonna be going to Disneyland, and I haven't been to Disneyland since like 2023. I know it's not that long, but I really miss it. I'm gonna be going to Disney pretty often these next few months, which I love that for me. So I already got my ears ahead of time. I always like to order my ears before I go because I like to have a theme in mind already. For example, I already have themes in mind for the next few times that I'm gonna go to Disney. And this time around, well, this first one is like literally the same one that you always gotta bring it down to the neck, you guys. Anyways, the first thing that I'm gonna be doing for Disney is literally the same one that I did last time. It's pretty basic when it comes to me because I feel like it's so like predictable. But I'm gonna be doing Ariel, the Little Mermaid. Like last time that I did Little Mermaid, I feel like I didn't do it justice. I feel like I could have had like a better outfit and stuff because I literally just wore like an all black romper and I feel like it wasn't really giving. So this time around, which I'm hoping my outfit comes in time, because I ordered it from Shein, and Shein usually takes about like 2 weeks to come. We're gonna hope that it comes in before. I'm also running pretty low on my concealer. I'm also waiting for that package. I did order it sometime last week, so it should be arriving pretty soon. But I use the Jeffree Star Cosmetics concealer in the shade C10. I always like having like a really bright under eye, and I always do this little line when it comes to my concealer because once it's blended and then I put I was gonna say baking powder, setting powder over it, it really gives like a little snatched effect that I was telling you guys about. I know usually people prep their lid like this, but I do it even when I'm not gonna do an eyeshadow look just because I like this, just like I like my under eye to match like my lid, you know what I mean? Like it can't be super bright and then this one's like, no, it's totally different shades, you know? Right now I'm gonna show you the ears that I got. I got 2 pairs of ears, and this time around, for my first time that I'm going to Disney, or my first time this year, I'm gonna be going to Disney California Adventure. Since the Little Mermaid ride is at Disney California Adventure, I feel like it just matches. And plus, she's one of my favorite Disney princesses, next to Rapunzel. So these are my ears. I'm like actually in love with them. And look at the detailing. Look at those little pearls, the way that they're shaped like Mickey Mouse. I thought was so adorable. And my second pair of ears are gonna be for the nighttime. So these are Star Wars themed. Look at how cute they are. And okay, here's the thing. I know that Star Wars Land is on the regular Disneyland side, but I still want to get them anyway because I'm gonna be going to that side as well. You guys might be wondering why I'm fanning my concealer right now, but that's because I like it to get a little bit dry, just not too much, just a little bit drier, so that way it's a bit more of like a thicker consistency, because I feel like it blends better and it just like sticks better. I also still use a brush to blend in my concealer. I use a little bit of a beauty blender, but not too much. I feel like using a beauty blender for your concealer, it really just like absorbs all of the product. Well, it doesn't absorb all of the product, but you know, it absorbs a lot of the product, and I feel like I don't get as much of a bright eye. I don't know if you guys could tell, but it almost gives like a natural little wing right there. But I feel like since it's the color of the concealer, it gives like that snatched illusion. I also use a Huda Beauty setting powder in the shade Pound Cake. It's like all messy by now, but she works so good. I really love Huda Beauty though. I've been using Huda Beauty products since I was like in middle school. I remember I've always loved highlight, and when I was younger, I feel like the way that I used to put on highlight used to be insane. Like I used to put just like blobs of highlight on. I feel like hopefully now I've gotten better at that. I feel like when it comes to highlight now, I still love to have like a little sickening, blinding moment, but before I would just like put pounds of it on. And I remember specifically I used to use the Huda Beauty highlight. It used to come, I remember the one that specifically that I used to use, it would come like in a little palette in shades of 4. And yeah, I feel like, honestly, I feel like one of the first makeup lines that I really started using was Huda Beauty. Okay guys, so now we're just gonna dust off the product. I do kind of like to just blend out that little line with my hand so it doesn't look super harsh, so it kind of starts fading just a little bit so it looks a little bit more natural, but you know, the effect is still there. So now we're gonna move on to contour slash bronzer, and for that I use the Rare Beauty bronzer in the shade Happy Soul. Wait, hold on. Wait, I think it's Happy Soul. Hopefully, I've been using this forever, so I should know the shade by heart. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Okay, I got it right. Okay, right before we do our bronzing slash contour, I'm just gonna go in with the same brush that I used to take the excess off of the setting powder, and I'm just gonna put it kind of like in the oily parts of my face. So just like that. Sometimes I like to actually just put it all over, kind of just like mattify it, since I do kind of have oily skin and some of the products make my skin extra dewy, so this is just to lock everything in. I like to put also like in the temple of my head, and I even get a little product and put it on my cheekbone, like kind of like as if it were blush. I do leave kind of like a harsh line like that. Don't worry you guys, we're not gonna leave it completely like that. I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender and we're gonna really sharpen that line, and then we're gonna blend it in. So see how it makes it like really like, you know? And I kind of just blend in that line so it doesn't look as harsh. And I just go in lightly, like blending it in all together. I use my beauty blender a lot in between steps. I feel like it really just like brings it all together. Okay guys, so I currently use just one shade of blush. I just used this Rare Beauty red blush in the shade Grateful. I do want to get a pink blush, but I'm debating if I should get another Rare Beauty liquid blush, or if I should try out the Patrick Ta blush, because my friend does have it and I really liked the way it looked. So, or who knows, maybe I might get both because I do want to have a variety of blushes, because don't get me wrong, I love a red blush, but sometimes I also want a little bit more of like a pink look. Okay, so same thing with my blush. I apply it pretty high. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, that's a lot. But you know, just do you. Do whatever you feel like. But honestly, it's okay. It's a lot. There's never enough blush, you know? So I do kind of like to blend it out just like right here in the side of my face. But I also like to bring it up because, you know, we have to continue following that like snatched illusion. I also am gonna put some on my nose, but before I do, I put just a little bit of concealer on my nose. Hold on, you guys, before I move on, we're gonna do a little matcha break. We have to get little boosts of energy in between. Okay, so I usually get the beauty blender that I use for concealer, and I just do a line right here, just like that. And then I go in and put a little bit of blush on my nose, just kind of like on the tip of my nose. And then now I blend it in. The same brush and the same beauty blender that I'm using to blend everything out in between is the one that I used for my foundation. Now we're gonna move on to mascara, and I use the Essence Lash Princess mascara. Okay, now it's time to put on highlight. And I've also been using this highlight for a very long time, along with Huda Beauty. Like I mentioned, Huda Beauty was one of the first makeup brands that I started using and that I fell in love with. And I also used Jeffree Star Cosmetics highlighter specifically. Yes, I was obsessed with highlight since day one. But I used Jeffree Star Cosmetics highlight since I was in middle school as well, and I've stuck with it ever since. I feel like it's just so pigmented but like buttery, and you only need a little bit of this. When I tell you guys it's so pigmented, like I could literally blind you from across the room with this. So before I used to just like cake it on, but now I just put on just a little bit at a time to kind of like feel it out. And then I just literally pat very small like that and connect it. Ahí está, no te pasas. And I just like lightly do little circular motions to really bring it together. And also like blend it out, so if there's any like harsh lines, you know. And never forget the nose. See what a difference that makes? Okay, last but not least, which is one of my favorite parts of my makeup routine aside from my highlight, is my lip combo. I feel like I have a few go-to lip combos depending on my mood, but this time I'm gonna show you kind of like my full glam lip combo. First, I'm gonna start off by outlining my lips with a brown lip liner, which I don't even remember where I got this from or what brand it is. Oh wait, I feel like I got this from CVS like a while back, but I can't remember the brand of it because it's just like a random little one, you know? You guys, my favorite lip liner ever will always be brown lip liner. I feel like nothing could top that for me. And then I'm gonna use this Jeffree Star Cosmetics lipstick in the shade Mannequin. I kind of just blend it in with my brush here. And I'm gonna be using a new e.l.f. lippy that I got in the shade Honey Talks, but I usually just use a clear gloss, like literally any clear gloss to put on top. Okay guys, so that concludes today's video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed my updated makeup routine. Also, let me know if there's any other looks in particular that you guys want to see me try out. And before I leave, please don't forget to subscribe, because if you subscribe, then I will keep you in my corazoncito forever. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, kisses.